Hey there, welcome back to Practice Space. I'm Allie. This is your complete class for this week, meaning that we will go through a little bit of everything. We'll find some mobility work, we'll move into some opening and stretching to prepare, move through strength work, and then finally close out with a little bit of a release and Savasana at the end. These classes drop once a week on Mondays, and then throughout the rest of the week, we will release some shorter, more focused sessions. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of that. So with all of those things being said, let's get started onto our backs on the mat. Go ahead and place the soles of your feet on the earth, and then bring your sit bones or your glutes about hands distance from the back of your heel. And this can be a little farther or a little closer, just depending on what feels okay in your body. But I just like to use my own body, let you use your own body as a measuring point, because somehow we magically fit all our pieces together in kind of cool ways. So use your hands to measure the space between your heels and the base of your glutes here. And then if you would like to just leave your hands there if that feels comfortable, let's do that. If not, they can always come up into like a goalpost position or cactus position. You can place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, whatever works for you. Close your eyes just for a moment and let's begin to settle into the space. Noticing the natural cadence of your breath, just setting our start point. On your next inhale, close your mouth and inhale very deeply, starting from the bottom of your feet, lifting the oxygen from the earth up into your body, traveling through your legs, through your knees, all the way into your hips, your belly, feeling that belly fill with that air. The oxygen continues to travel up through your rib cage, your throat, your nose, up through the crown of your head. And then as you exhale, all of that breath travels back down to where it came from. So as you exhale, everything moves from the crown of your head, through your throat, your chest, your belly button pulls in towards your spine as you release the oxygen down into your hips, your knees, your ankles, and finally through the base of your feet, finding this symbiotic relationship with the ground below you, even if it's a few floors down. And now find a new natural rhythm to your breath with your mouth closed, inhaling and exhaling through your nose, using that ujjayi breath, that nostril only breathing, creating a nice ocean wave sound through the back of your throat, coming in and out through your nose. And allow the cadence of this breath, the power of this breath to move you through practice today. On your next inhale, let your belly fill with the air. And as you exhale, press your lower back down onto the earth, blinking your eyes open, coming back into the present, into the space that you occupied for now on your mat. Inhale, belly fills, and exhale, continue to press your base of your spine into the mat. Inhaling here, allow your belly to fill once more, and then exhale, press your tailbone down onto that so the lower back might lift a little bit. Just feeling a curving through the spine here, almost like what you might feel if you're in cow pose on all fours. And then exhale, press your lower back onto the earth. As if you could round into the mat. Maybe the tailbone lifts up off the earth this time, finding this little mini bridge position. And then set the spine back down onto the earth. Press your palms into the mat. Press the soles of your feet into the mat. We'll start with a nice bridge pose. So inhale, lift your hip points up towards the sky. Tuck your tailbone under. Press your heels into the mat to engage through the glutes, starting to wake up through the back line of the body. And then exhale, lower everything back down to the ground. Without pause, we'll inhale and lift everything back up, grounding into the heels. This time, feel it like your heels are pulling back towards your glutes, really turning on through the hamstrings now. Exhale, everything comes back down to the earth. One more time like that. Inhale, press into the heels, lift the hips, tuck the tailbone, engage the glutes, drag your heels back. Everything is active and engaged from your hips down to your heels. Inhale, bring your knees closer together. They probably won't touch, but stay in this bridge position and bring the knees into center line. Exhale, bring them back into hip distance space and lower the hips down onto the earth. As you inhale, reach your fingertips up over your head, reaching towards the back of your mat. And as you exhale, use the propulsion of your breath to press your hips down into the earth, round through your back, and pull yourself up into a seated position, finding a nice deep fold or hinge in the hips immediately. Cross one ankle over the other and roll over your knees, pressing your palms into the earth to find a tabletop position. We'll use that cat-cow motion without the earth getting in your way, without the mat getting in your way this time. Inhale, drop your belly towards the mat, pull your collarbones and shoulders back, gazes forward. Find that first unrestricted cow of the day. And then push the ground away from you, round into the spine, tailbone tucks under, belly button pulls towards spine, chin tucks, find your cat. Inhale, finding cow, and then set these postures free, taking what you need, taking it at your pace, remembering to use your breath to move you even in these most simple spaces. Maybe pulling your hips back in that cow pose with the tailbone lifted, starting to find a little deeper hinge in the hips. Maybe you reverse your fingertip direction, so place the fingertips facing back towards your knees. Maybe you just rock back and forth, finding miniature cat-cows. And then when you're ready, find some stillness in the middle, find a neutral tabletop position, and just begin to paw at the earth. So press one palm down and lift the other up, make it into a fist. Land that palm, lift the other, make it into a fist, and just go back and forth here. Just reinforcing that connection to the earth, knowing that even when you move your body or move pieces of yourself away from it, it is still there, it's not going anywhere. And then find that neutral tabletop position once more. Reach your right foot towards the back of your mat, tucking your toes under, and lift the left heel towards the ceiling, but only so much so that it's in line with your hip. So we're not lifting it up, we're not going into a plank, three-legged dog or three-legged plank. We're just gonna lift it so it's in line with your hip. And just hold here for 5, 4, engaging through the abs, 3, 2, 1. Lower the left toes and lift the right heel towards the sky for 5, 4. Using your glutes, using the back line of your body, 2, 1. Slowly lower towards the earth, bending into the elbows, pushing onto your tiptoes, lowering down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, your fingertips reach out to the sides of your mat. We'll find oscillating cobra. Press the fingertips into the mat. As you inhale, your shoulder blades pull together and down your back. Your chest lifts up, only so much so that you're not dumping into that lower back. So using your body, press the tops of your feet into the mat, lifting up, and as you exhale, wave the spine back down. Maybe adjusting the feet, maybe bringing your inner thighs closer together, press the tops of your feet into the earth. Use your shoulder blades to pull you up. Inhale. Exhale, wave back down one more time, just like that. And then come down to face the mat, palms plant underneath the shoulders. And this time, inhale, using your strength, lift your upper body up and away from the earth, palms float. We'll hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Palms face the earth and reach out away from you to the sides of your body. As you inhale, lift your feet up off of the mat. Exhale to hold here. And then as you inhale, come into your locust. So hands will sweep towards your toes. Palms can face down here or lift up. Maybe they face towards each other, your preference. But really feel the back line of your body engaging, using your glutes, using all of the strength, all of the connection we've already built today to lift your body away from the mat. Pull your palms towards each other. Lift the shoulders just a little higher. And release. Press the palms into the earth. Tuck the toes under. Press your knees into the mat and push your hands into the mat to lift your chest up and away, coming back to sit onto your heels. Toes are still tucked under. So coming into this toes pose, if it's too much for you to have your toes tucked under here, you can always untuck them, but we just want to start opening up through the front line of the body now. So my preference is for your toes to be tucked under, so take that if you will. And we'll inhale to reach our fingers up towards the sky, curving out through the chest, lifting your heart towards the sky. Exhale, rounding forward, so pulling the belly button towards the spine, rounding in, reaching the fingertips forward, almost like you're rounding or you're reaching around a huge globe or beach ball. Inhale, reach up, curving the spine out. Exhale, round down, reaching the fingers away from you. One more time like that. Curving out as you inhale and rounding as you exhale. Lean forward onto the mat. Palms find the earth. Toes untucked. Maybe tap the tops of the feet out a little bit and then sit back onto your heels. We'll find flying integration here. As always in this posture, if you never leave the ground, it's okay. I just want you to be fully engaged, active, and connected with every piece of your being as we find the action or the energetics of lifting away from the earth. So hands are on the outside of your legs, maybe slightly behind the knees, maybe a little closer towards your heels, just depending on your proportions. Inhale to gather some energy. Exhale to prepare. And on your next inhale, press into the earth, lift your knees towards your chest, lean forward, maybe pull your toes a little farther forward, really using that entire middle section of your body to hold yourself here for 5, 4, maybe the hips go a little lower, 3, 2, 1, lower down. Palms come to the top of the mat, toes tucked under, and hips lift up and back, finding your first downward facing dog of the day. Go ahead and pedal out. Find some creativity here. Stay connected to your entire body, feeling the fingertips, the palms of the hands, feeling the base of your toes, feeling the soles of your feet reach the earth, and reminding yourself again that mat, that ground below you is always there. Even when your heel lifts away, when it comes back down, it will find it. And then find a nice still space in the center, finding that middle stable downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, pull your hips back, and then unravel your spine, wave forward to find high plank. As you exhale, bend into the knees, push the hips up and back for downward facing dog, and then wave forward. And we'll take this about 5 times through on our own, taking it at your pace. Going slower will be a little more difficult, but it will also build some more strength and stamina. Taking 2 more rounds maybe. And then next time you come forward, go ahead and hold in your high plank. As you exhale, slowly lower all the way down to the earth. Inhale for locust pose. Exhale, palms come to the earth, toes tuck under, lift to high plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. Right toes to the sky this time as you inhale for 3-legged dog, and as you exhale, right foot comes to the outside of your right hand. Left knee lands. Inhale to sweep your fingertips up towards the sky to find this wide low lunge. So push the left hip forward as you lean into the right knee, bend into the right knee. Left toes can be tucked or untucked, but I want you to press into the base of that left big toe so we're not rolling your foot out onto the pinky edge. Be very wary of that. Not necessarily for like injury reasons, but just to make sure we're staying in line with what we're going for today. Inhale to reach your chest a little bit higher towards the sky, maybe finding a very slight back bend, but I really want you to pay attention to your hips here. You should start to feel a little bit of a stretch, maybe a little tingling sensation in the left hip. And then exhale, fold over your right knee. So you're gonna be at a slight angle here. And I want you to take a pyramid pose from this slightly diagonal position. So as you inhale, lift your hips up and back. Maybe the left heel comes down, maybe you adjust your stance. So we're kind of facing towards the right side, right top edge of the mat. Inhale, reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold over that right leg. Taking those inhales and exhales at your pace. Once again, we'll just stay here for a few more breaths. Really feeling that line of tension in the back line of the right leg. And then place your left and your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Take your right leg, lift your foot up and back to meet the left foot. So you're going to be in kind of like a short plank, and lift your hips up and back to find this really shortened downward facing dog. From here, I want you to really plant your heels onto the mat. We should be able to if we're in this position. If not, and you need to bend into your knees, by all means, go for it. Just hold here, really pressing the heels towards the earth. Maybe engaging through the quads to lift your knees away from the mat. And then lower both knees to the earth. Pull your hips back. Spread your knees wide towards the sides of your mat and pull back into this really, really wide child's pose. So you may begin to feel a little bit of tension, a line of tension in the inner thighs here. Pull the hips back, lift the tailbone towards the sky. We're really going to work into that hinge just for a few moments. And the head can stay lifted. Your forearms can even be on the earth. I just want you to go so far as you can continue to lift the tailbone. Maybe even using your palms to press into the mat and push your hips a little farther back. Maybe think about your knees reaching away as your hips pull back. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and come up to an upright position. Bring your knees together. Palms come to the top of the mat. Toes tuck under and lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. On your inhale, left toes lift towards the sky and left foot travels to the outside of your left hand. Coming into this wide, low lunge. So right knee drops, right toes can tuck under or untuck. Lost the word there. Inhale, sweep your fingertips up towards the sky. Push the hips forward. So coming into this kind of weird, like we said before, diagonal low lunge. Pulling that left hip back, deepening into the hinge in that left hip, maybe pressing into the heel of the left foot. You should feel your glute turn on there, and then pulling the right hip forward as you lift your heart up and open towards the sky, looking for that line of tension or that stretch in the front of the right hip and activation through the back of the left leg. Just breathing here. And then when you're ready, we'll exhale. Your hands will frame your left foot. Lift your hips up and back, taking this long, extended, maybe wide pyramid pose towards the left top corner of your mat. Inhaling for the length and exhale to fold deeper over the left leg. Thinking about maybe squaring off through the hips, so pull that left hip back and push the right hip slightly forward. Just noticing if that changes things for you. Taking about 2 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, bring both hands inside of the left foot. Go ahead and drop the right knee. Bring the left knee into center line and pull your hips back toward the child pose, this time with your knees together, but continuing to think about lifting your tailbone towards the sky. So again, you may not go very far. In fact, go ahead and bring your forearms down to the earth. Bring your elbows back to your knees. You're going to come into this maybe like a little baby bunny position. Push your elbows into your knees and think about pushing your knees back into your elbows as you pull your tailbone and your hips back. So we're really trying to fold our body into these very finite spaces. It might be an area that we're not used to getting into, but I promise it is worth it. It's doing good things. Go ahead and bring your sit bones down onto your heels now. Inhale to come into an upright position. Sweep your fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, twist to your right. Bring the left hand outside of your right knee and the right hand behind you. Palm is facing towards the right side of your mat, so your shoulders open here. Inhale to come back to center and then take everything to the left side. So as you exhale, twist to the left, right hand comes to the outside of the left knee, left palm faces towards the left side of your mat so that your shoulders opening up to the side. And then take that one more time through. Inhale to reach the fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, face the right. Inhale, fingers towards the sky. Exhale, face the left. Inhale, reach towards center, and on your exhale, palms will plant at the top of your mat and we'll find each other in downward facing dog. This time, inhale, right toes to the sky, and as you exhale, right foot lands by right thumb, coming into a low lunge. Sweep your fingertips up towards the sky. Left toes are tucked under, and push your right knee forward as you square off through the hips, pulling the right hip back, left hip forward here. Exhale, fold over your right leg, coming into a pyramid position. Inhale, high lunge, sweep your fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, pull the crown of your head forward over your right knee, and then as you continue to move forward, bending deeper into the right knee, sweep your fingertips towards the back of the room. Lift your chest up almost like an up dog or locust position in your upper body, leaning over that right leg or maybe slightly to the inside of it for 5, 4, 3, and know that hip is talking to you. 2, 1, sweep your fingers up, finding that high lunge once more. Exhale, hands frame the right foot, right toe sweep up to the sky. 3-legged dog, look forward with that right leg lifted and pull yourself through to upward facing dog. Hips lift up and back for downward facing dog. Left toes lift to the sky as you inhale. Left toes land by left thumb as you exhale. Coming into low lunge, sweeping the fingertips up towards the sky, squaring through the hips. Exhale, coming into pyramid pose with this more traditional angle, straight down the center. Inhale, sweep your fingertips up towards the sky, high lunge. And then as you exhale, fold into your left hip, reaching out and over the left knee. If you need to adjust your footing, go for it. And then continue to fold, reach over the left knee and sweep your fingertips back behind you, reaching towards the space behind your body. Palms can face together, and then think about having that locust posture in your upper body or upward facing dog, whatever works for you. Roll the shoulders back, pull the shoulder blades together. Inhale back through that high lunge, maybe finding a slight back bend here if it feels good for you. And then as you exhale, frame the left foot. Left toes lift to the sky for 3-legged dog. Look forward, pull through to upward dog with the left foot lifted. And then exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Right toes lift to the sky. Right foot to right thumb, this time coming into a high lunge. As you exhale, let the left heel lower down onto the earth and open up into a warrior 2. Inhale your right fingertips up towards the sky. Peaceful warrior. Exhale, find an extended side angle. Inhale for peaceful warrior. Exhale for that extended side angle once more, and your forearm can always be on top of your leg. Fingertips can be on a block or wherever they need to rest to allow you to spin your heart open. Inhale, peaceful warrior once more. Exhale, go to your deepest expression of this extended side angle and see how much you can turn your heart towards the sky while keeping the integrity of the posture. Can you bend into that right knee a little more? Press into the outside edge of the left foot. Then straighten through the right leg. Sweep your right hand up and overhead to find peaceful triangle. And then cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Right toes lift to the sky as you inhale. Right toes land by left toes. Lift your heels, bend your knees, wave your spine forward and take a vinyasa. Taking the awakening, take your push up on your exhale. Knees and forearms drop, pull through to upward facing dog as you inhale. And then hips push up and back, downward facing dog. Left toes lift to the sky this time. Left toes land by left thumb. Inhale, sweep up to that high crescent lunge. Exhale, fold over the left leg as it straightens, finding pyramid pose here. Inhale, sweep up to that high crescent lunge, and then as you exhale, right heel falls down to the earth. Bending into the left knee to find warrior two on this side. Peaceful warrior, left fingertips sweep up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, find your extended side angle. Inhale for peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, peaceful warrior once more. Exhale, find your deepest expression of that extended side angle. And we'll get a little deeper here. Inhale, find the length through the crown of your head. Exhale, open your heart more as far as you can towards the sky or sailing above you. Really using the legs to keep your stability here. Pressing into the outside edge of your right foot. And then as you inhale, go ahead and start to straighten through the left knee and come up for a peaceful triangle. And then as you exhale, both hands come to frame the left foot. Left toes lift up towards the sky for three-legged dog. And then left toes land by right toes. Inhale, lift heels, bend knees, pull your hips back, and then wave forward and take a vinyasa. Exhaling through the push-up. Knees and forearms drop as you inhale through to upward facing. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Right toes lift to the sky as you inhale. Right foot comes to the right thumb as you exhale. And then left foot follows to meet the right foot. Inhale, sweep your hands up to find chair pose. Pull your hips back, lift your chest up. So continuing to revisit that upward facing dog shape or that locust shape in the upper body. Lift the heart up towards the sky, fingers, pinky fingers pull in towards each other. Exhale, find a forward fold, hinging through the hips, sweeping the hands down. Maybe they find a block, maybe they find the earth. Inhale, back for chair. Exhale, forward fold one more time, just like that. Inhale for chair pose. Exhale to forward fold. And then slowly come to standing, unraveling the spine one piece at a time. Inhale, sweep your fingertips up towards the sky. Push the hips forward. Exhale, forward fold. From this forward fold, take your feet out wide to the edges of your mat. So you're in kind of in between a normal forward fold and a wide-legged forward fold. And then slowly begin to bend into your knees. Push your knees forward as you pull your tailbone and your hips back. Eventually bringing the heels in towards each other, slightly angling them in to come into your malasana or your passive squat. Go ahead and rock back and forth, getting into your hips. And then find a nice calm space in the center. Thinking about really lifting your chest up, gaze is up. And then we'll take a few rounds of circle wheel. Inhale, take your left hand behind you. We'll lift your hips up towards the sky, reaching the right fingertips up and overhead. Coming back to center line. This time the right hand comes behind you, hips lift. Left fingertips sweep up and overhead. Really pushing through the base of your feet as you go back and forth, side to side. This one, I want you to take it to your limit because we're just gonna unwind after this. Maybe take 2 more rounds on each side if you've got that full circle wheel in your practice and you wanna go all the way around. By all means, go for it. And then when you've had enough, go ahead and bring your sit bones down onto the earth, cross one ankle over the other, easy seat, Sukhasana. Whew. And just take a breath here. That was a lot quickly. When you're ready, go ahead and lower your spine back down onto the earth, back to where we started things. Go ahead and set yourself up for a bridge series. So press the soles of the feet into the earth, digging the heels in. Lift your hips up towards the sky, tuck your tailbone under, and think about dragging your heels back towards your glutes or towards your shoulders to activate through those hamstrings. Once more for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down to the ground. Inhale, finding bridge once more. Exhale, bring it down to the ground. Let's do that 5 more times. Inhale, hips up, taking it at your pace. Exhale, brings you back down. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Once you finish this one, bring your hips back down onto the earth. Lift the soles of your feet up towards the sky. Reach your fingertips up towards your toes. And we'll just take about 10 reps here, reaching your fingertips up towards your toes, lifting the shoulders up away from the sky or from the earth, keeping them lifted the entire time. And just reach up towards your toes for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. If you need to bend into your knees, that's okay. 3, 2, 1. Release the shoulders down. Keep the soles of the feet pointed towards the sky. And then release the left foot long in front of you, keeping the right foot lifted. Hover that left heel off of the mat and just hold here. Taking 1 deep breath in, 1 deep breath out, and then switch your legs slowly. Bring the right heel down to hover. The sole of the left foot reaches towards the sky. Holding here. Right heel is not touching the ground. It is floating. You're probably going to start to feel a little shaky. Let's do that one more time. Switch feet. And again, at any point, you can always bend into the knees. You can use your hands to help you secure yourself into like a stable base. Switch feet. And then go ahead and bring both feet down onto the earth, extending long. Down in front of you. Reach your fingertips up and overhead. Taking 1 nice full body stretch. Bring the right knee into the chest. We'll just take a couple supine twists here. Bring the right knee across your body towards the left side of your mat. Maybe recentering your hips. Right arm can be out long to your side or goal posted. Using the left hand to support under your right knee, if need be. And then coming back to center, taking that on the other side. Left knee comes into the shoulder, into the collarbone, and then comes across your body, taking the supine twist on this side. Just allowing gravity to do the work. Coming back to center line. Extending both feet out long. Reaching arms up overhead again. Exhale, bring both knees into your chest, giving yourself 1 nice big squeeze, maybe lifting the shoulders, lifting the collarbone towards your knees. And then slowly, with control, extend your feet towards the top of the mat. I guess is where we're at this time. Let the hands drop out to your sides. Let the feet relax. Knowing that today we did enough. Just short and sweet little practice, but we got into the nooks and crannies of our being. We worked into the muscles throughout our entire body. The legs, the glutes, the core, the arms, the shoulders, everything was touched and nothing was left behind today. But hopefully we only used enough energy that we feel good about the exertion, but we have the space, we have the power to get us through whatever the rest of the day holds. And I'll leave you here in your Savasana, in your final resting pose, taking as much time as you need or as much time as you have. Just allowing the work to move through your body, allowing your mind and your muscles to reset to this new base level, knowing that tomorrow might be different, knowing that that's great, that's okay, that's what it should be. We're not static creatures. The world around us isn't static either, so always evolving, always changing, always growing, moving. The ebb and flow is really where it's at. Until we meet next time, enjoy, go in peace, and remember to take the things you learn in your practice on the mat into your life off of the mat. Have a good one.